Welcome to day 2 of the EC Leadership Bootcamp training on environment and culture. Super excited to be here. Let me know in the comment section if you are here. So let me know in the comments in Zoom if you're here. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the chat box and in the Facebook group. Say hello. Let me know that you're here. So let's dive right in since we are running 10 minutes behind schedule, and my apologies for that. All right, so let's talk about what you're going to be learning today, okay? Again, just a reminder of who I am for those of you that didn't show up yesterday. My name is Connie Olshansky. I'm an early childhood strategist and leadership coach. Let me actually just go back here, tell you a quick second about who I am. These are my 4 little kids. I had a baby about 2.5 weeks ago. I started working in Preschool of the Arts 10 years ago. I worked in Preschool of the Arts 11 years ago, actually, which is a Reggio-inspired school. I left Preschool of the Arts to go pursue my master's in early childhood and special education at Mercy College. And 2 years ago is when I started working, when I started my own business, Discover Ed Consulting, where I work with preschool directors and owners to help them build a school of excellence. So for those of you that missed yesterday's training, we do have the replay available, so you'll be able to go in there and watch that. So definitely get in there. Hi, Jamie. Hello, Shani again. Hi, Dia and Nua. Hi, Alicia and Darlene. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so let's talk about what you're going to learn today, okay? We're going to be talking about the strategies for creating an environment of safety. We're going to be talking about how to redefine failure with something called the fail forward strategy. And we're going to be talking about tips to motivate and inspire your staff while boosting morale. So these are some of my favorite tips and strategies, and I'm really excited to dig into that today. Hi, Susan. So, and Rosanna's here. All right, we got a nice crowd going on here today. So hello to everyone. Awesome. Let's dig in. Okay, so how do you create safety? All right, how do you ultimately create safety within your school environment? So the first thing is we want to understand is what fear is, okay? The antithesis to safety is fear, okay? The complete polar opposite of creating a safe environment is fear, being scared, creating a place where people are scared to take risks. So what would be happening, what would be heard in your school when there's a place where teachers are fearful, okay? How do people behave and speak when they feel safe? So I want you to let me know in the comments section, what happens in a school where people are afraid, and how do people behave when they feel safe? So let me know in the comments section. You could respond to either one of those questions. And let me know what happens in a school where teachers are fearful and what happens when people feel safe. When staff are fearful, they don't make decisions. They stick with, this is how we've always done it. Nailed it, Jennifer. That is exactly what happens. Alicia says, when they're afraid, they show up, they do the basics, they go home. When they're safe, they're creative, and they go above and beyond. Yes, 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 and yes. Dia says, safe school, teachers are comfortable to try new ideas. They become collaborative. Jamie says, fearful. There's a lot of backbiting, mistrust, gossip, all of that kind of stuff. Oh, yeah. No one likes that kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So some other questions to ask yourself and I'm going to go into this in a couple minutes, is just different questions that you can ask yourself as the director to get a better diagnostic of, is your school really a safe environment? Sorry, I'm turning here and taking care of my little baby. We're going to run a diagnostic again of, is your environment safe or is it fearful? So how do you create a safe environment? Okay, so I have 6 very specific strategies for creating an environment of safety. Today I'm going to share one of them with you. For people that are in my inner circle, I share all of the strategies with them. We have a PDF that they get to have access to. In the next month, in January, is when we're going to be releasing that content for creating safety. So the first strategy is change seats, which is put the teacher in your seat. So what does that mean? Okay, what does it mean to put the teacher in your seat? It means that when you're sitting down and you're talking with the teacher and she's like, oh, I don't know, should I do this? Should I try that? Is physically change seats with her. Tell her, hey, you come sit in my seat. I'm going to sit in your seat. So now you're me. What would you do? Like, what would you actually do? Now that you're me, you're sitting in my seat. Now pretend that you're me. What decision would you want me to have made? And you literally ask her that question, but you're also physically putting her in your seat, which you're actually showing her, hey, let me tell you something. This is the safety net, okay? So even if the idea screws up, I'm going to have your back, because you're physically putting her in the driver's seat in that way. And it actually just creates this visceral effect for the teacher that she's like, okay, so what would I do if I was actually the director? So I'm getting a lot of thumbs ups over here. Let me know with a thumbs up or in the comment section if this is something that you're like, hey, you know what? That actually might really work. When people feel safe, they trust, they communicate freely, they open. They're not open to change. They're open to change. Yeah. So Darlene says, great idea. Awesome. So again, let me know in the comments section. I just did this today with goal setting for teachers, empower them to think more critically, I felt. Yes, absolutely. It 100% gets them to think more critically. Changing seat encourages staff to look at the big picture. Yes, and Jennifer just said that changing, because again, now they're entering the CEO role, right? You're the CEO of the company. So by changing seats, you're allowing them to step into your role in that kind of way. Okay, so now let's talk about what failure is, okay? Because a lot of you spoke about how when there's a fearful environment, there's that fear of failure, okay? Failure means disappointment, not meeting expectations, negativity, I'm wrong, okay? So let me know in the comment section, when you think of the word failure, what are some other things that come to mind? Like, what are those experiences or those sentences or sayings that come to mind when you think of the word failure? And while everyone's doing that, you guys have to meet my little man. Say hello. You say hi. You're not so happy? You need to say hi to everyone. Say hello. Oh, you're spitting up. I don't know if everyone wants to see that. Punch, punch. Oh, okay. Regret. Yes, failure is regret, anxiety, poor morale, just the worst, not coming back. Awesome. What else? Let me know in the Facebook group. There's a little lag over here in the Facebook group. Okay. We'll wait on that one. Okay. So how do we redefine failure? So one of the things that I like to do, and I talk about this with directors all the time, is that we want to be able to redefine what failure means, right? We want to be able to have our teachers look at failure not as something bad, not as something as regret, as I'm wrong, as disappointment. We want them to be able to look at it in a different way. So if we want our teachers to take risks, try new things in the classroom, and we want more accountability from an emergent curriculum, then we need to help them embrace growth and change and new parent programs, right? We want to give them feedback on classroom observations. We have to redefine what failure means in their eyes, because right now, every time that we give them feedback, or we tell them, hey, I want you to try something new, or, I asked you to do this, you need to get it done. They look at that as, oh my God, I'm a failure, I'm a mess up. I didn't own up to, what I didn't measure up to what you have in your mind. And that's a very scary feeling, especially for people that struggle with perfectionism, which so many people struggle with, right? And perfectionism is, that's a whole separate topic, but perfectionism is a lot of teachers just want to do things perfectly, act perfectly, do things perfectly so that, and Brene Brown talks about this all the time, that her definition of perfectionism is that if I look perfect, act perfect, and think perfect, then I can avoid shame, guilt, and ridicule, and criticism. And teachers have the same definition, right? So if I could just do everything perfectly, exactly the way that my boss wants, then I could avoid failure, ridicule, critique, feedback, all of that from my teacher. Because right now they look at feedback as something as, I didn't measure up, I'm not perfect. When really feedback is about getting better. It's not about being a perfectionist. It's about having a mindset of striving for excellence. So let me know in the comment section if you see the difference between a teacher who's striving for excellence and a teacher who is battling with perfectionism and is constantly afraid to fail, which means she's never going to try anything new and she's never going to jump on that change curve. Let's see here in the Facebook group. Let's see some of the comments. Here we go. So let's see here. Failure means you tried, but you need to build more skill. Redefined that we're always a work in progress, working towards growth and success. Failing is just part of learning and the road to get there. Striving versus battling. Yeah. So all different, context and words have such a powerful, definition in that kind of way. Okay. So let's move on. So one of the strategies that I teach when you're trying to teach people, teach your teachers how to look at failure from a different perspective, how to actually redefine failure in their minds, right? So how does it work? So the fail forward strategy is that we choose a day of the week that is failing day. Okay, everyone's failing today. All teachers need to try something new that they've never done before. Okay, so I just got off the phone with a support session with a school that I did a training workshop for, and two of the teachers tried things that they've never done before, which was messy sensory activities. That is a fail forward strategy. Like they tried to do something that they've never done before, completely pushed out of their comfort zone. So all the teachers have to try something new and then discuss how they failed at it or where it went wrong. And then everyone could offer ideas and support to make it better. So if you aren't failing enough, it means that you aren't trying enough, right? So the way that you really break this down is, let's say you decide that Tuesdays is fail forward day, right? With the directors in my inner circle, we have fail forward Friday. Every Friday is fail forward. Everyone needs to choose something that they are going to try out in their school, something that they're pushing out of their comfort zone, and they're going to be okay with it not working out. Like they're going to be comfortable with it tanking. And it's such a powerful strategy. And it's something that we work on really, really strongly in the inner circle, like really redefining what failure means in our eyes as the leader, because you can only take your people as far as you've gone yourself. So if you still look at failure as a bad thing, your teachers are going to look at failure as a bad thing as well. And so you really need to redefine that in your mind as well. So the fail forward strategy is a really practical way to help your teachers redefine what failure means in their eyes. So give me a thumbs up in the Facebook group if you like this idea. All right, awesome. Okay, so let's go into now how to motivate your staff, all right? So different teachers get inspired in different ways. And what's super important is to find out the teacher's language of appreciation. So for those of you that want this PDF, it's called the Teacher's Language of Appreciation. Post in the comment section, I want the PDF so that I could send it to you. It's a simple PDF that you could give out to your staff. And what it is that I know a lot of directors use the language of appreciation for teachers' birthdays, and you buy special things for them, and you do lunches and different things like that. But the thing about motivating your staff and with teacher appreciation is that this needs to be used on a weekly and a monthly basis. And in the inner circle is where I actually teach you guys how to do this without losing your mind. Because I talk to directors all the time and they're like, what, you're gonna put another thing on my plate right now? Another thing that I have to do also? I have so many things to do. You don't know how busy I am. Yeah, I don't know how busy you are, because most directors that I work with are actually bored to death. No, every director is busy. You have to know how to leverage your busyness and stop using that word, because actually saying I'm busy is actually a toxic word. I don't use that in my house. My husband and I are not allowed to say that to each other. I don't use that word, because I actually think that that's a toxic word to constantly say, I'm so busy. No, you're not. It's not a priority for you right now. Stop saying that you're so busy, because then you'll never have time for it. So that's just like a side thing over here. It wasn't something that I planned to talk about today, but remove that from your vocabulary. Stop saying I'm so busy. Start saying, you know what, that's not a priority right now. I'm going to get back to you in a month when I actually can give it the time and the energy that it needs and the attention that it deserves. That is a much better way than saying, I'm swamped right now, I'm so busy. Yeah, really, when are you not swamped? You know, when you're drinking a mimosa on the beach, like when does that happen? So really just don't use that word. Busy is 100% a toxic word. Yes, Susan, hate that word. And hate is also a strong word, but busy is toxic. It 100% is. So here's just an example. As per Hani Olshansky's awesome teacher appreciation worksheet, I had a great time putting some of my teachers' favorite snacks together so I could give them a treat for their hard work for curriculum night. They were so appreciative and they loved it. I put a personalized card with a compliment in it as well. So this is a director who used the teacher's language of appreciation worksheet and created personal packages for every single teacher to use to have at curriculum night. And her teachers were so appreciative. And I actually went to that director's curriculum night. And so I know like how grateful the teachers were. It was incredible. Okay, so let's move on now to morale boosting. So I'm going to share with you, I think 3 I'm sharing with you. So this is number 1. An organization that plays together stays together. Okay, remember that. An organization that plays together stays together. So sorry, just give me 1 second here. Oh, thank you. Okay, sorry about that. My husband just came home and he took the baby, so now I can focus. Okay, so organization that plays together stays together. So here is a picture of one of the directors in the inner circle said, I put together a little treat for my teachers. Aren't you glad it's Friday? So that is just a simple way for morale boosting. It's just play together, do fun, playful things together. It's not only about work, like just do something fun and exciting for your staff. So that's morale boosting tip number 1. Rosanna, that is awesome. Rosanna has a frog bracelet, which stands for Forever Recognizing Others' Greatness. We had a workshop on this. I made a tree and had parents and children write on the leaves about what they appreciate about their staff. I love that. I think that is such a great idea. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is just awesomeness. Thank you, Rosanna. All right, morale boosting tip number 2, give time staff to pursue their career further, okay? Let them go and observe in other schools, attend an event or a conference of their choosing. You know, even if it's not early childhood related, I spelled this wrong, but there was a teacher, there was a director I was working with one-on-one, and she had a particular teacher who really loved psychology. And she was actually pursuing a degree in psychology on the side, and there was this big conference, and the teacher really wanted to go to this conference. It had nothing to do with early childhood. It was like this conference about like I don't even know, psychology conference, I don't know. And the director was like, should I let her go? Like, she's going to be taking 2 days off, and like it's nothing to do with early childhood. And I was like, let her pursue something that's important to her. Like, show her that you value her as a person. Like, obviously, if you have the right coverage, then let her go. You know, she's using her personal days anyways. Let her go. Like, show that you're invested in her own personal growth as well. So, and lastly, morale boosting tip number 3 is increase vacation time or long lunch on their birthdays. So, you know, when we think of the word increase vacation time, it's like, oh, but I can't give them more vacation time. It's not necessarily giving them more holiday break. It's let them have a long lunch on their birthday. Like, let them have a longer lunch break. Paid day off on their birthday for returning staff. So for any staff that returns the coming year, so like retention, they get to have an extra paid day off. So on their birthday, they don't have to come to work that day, and they're paid for that day. So here's just a great example. I worked at the school 2 years ago, and there was the director came and asked this teacher, like, you know, what do you like? What makes you feel appreciated? Like, how would you feel appreciated? And how can I help you feel that you're really valued here in the school? And the teacher was like, I don't like any of those cutesy stuff that you do, or those gift cards, or the lunches that you buy all the teachers, or whatever it is. I just want to leave home early one day and just have lunch with my husband before all my kids get home from school. And the director was like, sure, like, well, you know, get one of the floaters in, or one of the subs come in so that you could leave earlier and you can have lunch with your husband. That is increased vacation time. What did it cost the director? $10 to hire that person for an extra hour, and let this veteran teacher go home and have lunch with her husband? Like, that is where you increase a person's vacation time, and it really boosts morale. Another one is value their personal commitments, like time to watch a kid's play or a sports game. Don't make it hard for them to have to do that kind of stuff. This all goes under increased vacation time. So before I move on, let me know in the comment section which one of the morale boosting tips are you going to try in your school? Was it 1, 2, or 3? Yeah. So having lunch with like your husband is like such a great thing that like so many people just really just never get a chance to do, because they're like, it's just crazy. And so really just giving them that time is just incredible. It's a great, great opportunity. Renat says she loves morale boosting number 2, to observe the work in other school. Megan says the third one for sure is a must. We already do number 1. Awesome. 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 Lisa says number 1, increase vacation time. Yes, 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 yes. Daniela, hi Danielle, or Danielle, sorry. She likes number 3, increase vacation time. I feel like I've done versions of all except for the lunch with the husband. Yeah. This morning I had a call with a client, and she wanted to do a follow-up call on Thursday morning. And I was like, you know what, actually, I might be doing breakfast with my husband then. So let's talk in the afternoon better. So my husband has off on Thursday. So we planned a breakfast date together. We're going to be going out for breakfast. And these things are just so important to really just Give them to your staff. Like, they really need this. I like number 3. It's so my type. We do all 3. I cook dinner for my staff each month at our staff meetings. Awesome. We provide wellness days so they can take appointments, kids stuff, mental health days. Yes, mental health days are super important. Jessica, then my teachers take days off to spend time with their family. Love the increased vacation time. Yes, yes. All right, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. So let's move on to how can you have all of this? And then I want to give you guys a couple of questions to walk away with. So again, creating a collaborative culture takes work. The key is to work smartly, and it's imperative that you focus on the right things at the right time, okay? Knowing what pieces to move and when will be the difference of your school growing or your school being in the exact same spot as last year, okay? You don't want to be in the same spot as last year. And the biggest mistake that a lot of directors make is just trying random tactics. You have to know in what order to execute on the tactics and in the system and the framework that you're going to get it done. So just a couple of questions to think about when you're thinking about your environment and your culture. Okay, so I wrote down a couple of the questions over here, so I just want to share them with you guys. Number 1 question to think about when you're running a diagnostic on your culture is what behaviors are rewarded and what are punished. So what behaviors are rewarded? Like, do you constantly reward the teachers that have these gorgeous, beautiful news bulletin boards, you know? Well, that's something that's really important to your culture then, you know? And what do you actually penalize or give consequences for? Or do you not give consequences to anyone that submits anything late? Okay, well then you don't care about things that come in late. That's your culture, okay? Do you allow the teacher who bullies other teachers to just get away with it because, oh, she's such a great teacher and everyone else loves her and all the parents love her and she's so creative, but she's always bullying other teachers? Well, you just created your culture right now, okay? Because you're tolerating that, all right? Another thing is where and how are people actually spending their resources, okay? So how are you spending your resources, your time, your money, your attention? Who are you giving that to? That all defines your culture. If you're really a growth-minded director, where are you investing? Like, do you actually take time to read books? Do you invest in programs or services or conferences to better yourself as a leader? Because if you want your teachers to do that, you have to do that yourself. You can't give from an empty cup. And then the last one is what rules and expectations are followed, enforced, and ignored. So really dig into these and ask yourself these questions. Not right now because you really want to think about it like really deeply. And these are things that truly define your culture. Like 100%, they define your environment and the culture that you're creating for your staff. So yesterday, I opened the doors to the Inner Circle, which is a small group of high-level directors who are looking to really create lasting change and growth in their school. We meet every single month with small, bite-sized, quick action steps and content for you to implement on. And we've had dozens of applications come in. We're only letting a handful of people come in this round because we already have a group and I'm only looking for a couple more people. So if you're interested in joining, I really encourage you to fill out an application because we're really only letting a handful of people come in. So the bi-monthly support cards are there to guide you every single step of the way, and the weekly action steps are there with specific things so that you could do that make a dramatic difference on your school culture. So one of the things that I always talk about is you have to take action, and it has to be consistent, imperfect action, because it's not about, oh my gosh, it has to be perfect. I need to be a perfectionist. But you know, I pride myself by being a perfectionist. And no, don't pride yourself by being a perfectionist. Pride yourself by being someone that takes consistent, imperfect action. Consistently show up, and it's okay if it's not perfect. Just show up. Just be there for your staff. So we have something called the Massive Action Monday. So one of them was track your time. So how to become more of the master of your time, how to create better standards in your school, how to create parent partnerships, and how to help teachers meet the deadline. These are just some of the ones that we've had over the course of since August, really helping your staff align with things. And I break it down for you step by step. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Like, it's not about Oh, I know that I need to do that. Yeah, lots of people know they need to do lots of things, but they need the guidance of like how to break this down. Okay. So I want to go over here. These are just some of the things that directors have been saying. Connie, you hit it out of the park again. One of my favorite things about you is the ability to hold people accountable. At the same time, you lead into self-realization in a very aggressive, take no shit, yet not threatening manner. So really just, this is a huge part of the inner circle, is that we hold people accountable here. Like if you want to take action and you want to really have that in your school, then really apply for the inner circle. My teachers and myself have loved this training. It really brings in the perspective of the parents and the teachers together. Thank you. And lastly, this is a teacher director that said her teachers love the proactive training, that again, they're often skeptical about new ideas. So coming from them, it's high praise. Thanks for having such great content to share with them. So again, if you're thinking like, oh, I have tons of veteran teachers, I don't really need this, or I've been, a veteran director for so many years, what are you going to teach me that's new? Is every single time we roll out content in the inner circle, every single director learns something new, like just blown away by the content that's released, because it's super, super targeted so that you're not putting out fires, is that you're constantly working proactively in your school as an effective leader. So how do you join? The inner circle is by application only. Each director is personally vetted, so we only have positive people who want to grow, directors who add value and help other leaders and don't just take for themselves. People are serious and committed and ready to roll up your sleeves, okay? This isn't for everyone. That's why there's an application process. Someone filled out an application this morning where they wrote their name and their phone number, and then I wrote, like, why do you want to join the inner circle? And they wrote the word W, like just kind of to fill it out so they could click submit, and I'm like, I'm not contacting you. Like, you didn't even care enough to fill out an application and complete the sentence to the question that I asked. So again, this isn't for everyone. Definitely not for that director who didn't even bother filling out the application process. So if she couldn't even take the time to fill out the application, this isn't a program for her, because she's not going to want to show up. So another thing that we have is the new feature of the insider shares. So next week, we actually have one of our directors is going to be sharing her substitute system and how she makes it work when staff need to take off. So every director has something amazing to share. And throughout the coming months, every director is going to get a chance to really share something that's unique and special about her school so that all the directors can learn from her. Okay, so let's summarize over here what we spoke about today. Excuse me. We spoke about strategies for creating an environment of safety. We spoke about how to redefine failure through the fail forward strategy. And I gave you 3 tips to motivate and boost morale with your staff. So as you sign out tonight, I want you to post in the comment section or in the Zoom section, what is your biggest takeaway? What are you taking action on? And also make sure that you check out the inner circle page and fill out an application if this is something that you're interested in. So let me know in the comment section, what is your biggest takeaway? What are you taking away from today's training on environment and culture? So Joelle and Catherine, and let's see who else is here. The inner circle Facebook group is lagging. Oh, here we go. The reminder is to simply try things what is it? To not simply try things as quick fixes. Yeah. So really have that system. Work harder at redefining failure for staff. I want them to not fear so that they could take risks and they could grow. Awesome, Rosanna. Yes. Renata says, biggest takeaway ideas to motivate and inspire my staff and enhance our school culture. Awesome, Renat. Awesome. And I'd love for you to check out the Inner Circle page and see if it's something that you want to apply for. Create an environment that rewards trying new things, the fail forward strategy. Yeah, and we're going to be digging into that in the next couple weeks, Suzanne, as well, in the Inner Circle. Let's see here. Karen says, motivation. Yes, we will definitely be working on morale boosting for sure. Awesome, Megan. Yes. And Karen says motivation. All right, awesome. Ladies, thank you all so much for showing up. Remember that tomorrow we are going to be talking about how to help your teachers learn from mistakes, my ninja tricks to help staff members meet their deadlines, and the most powerful strategy for accountability with staff and your administration team. That is what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. So make sure that you show up. And for those of you that are interested, please make sure that you fill out an application for the Inner Circle. Doors for the Inner Circle are open until Friday, December 22nd is when we close the doors. I do not open them again until August of 2018. So if you're interested in joining the Inner Circle and it is something that you want to do, you really want to level up who you are as a leader and show up more powerfully in your school and really learn not just these little tips and tricks that I'm sharing you now, but learn that powerful system. Check out the Inner Circle, fill out an application so we can get on a call and we can see if it's a great fit for you. Alrighty, ladies, take care. I'm going to check out and have a wonderful night. All the best. Bye-bye.